Hello beautiful people and welcome back to the channel and to a fantastic episode in which we exclusively gonna try to answer this question. Have this ever happened to you that you are in a battle event and you have sometimes opponents in a building which are extremely strong and you are not able to kick them out, and very often is the case in which you are hitting them and you see exactly this, which means, in other words, it makes literally no sense for you to hit because you are not even taking one of his units down. And the only option which you have, or which only a couple of servers probably have, is having one of your server members being at least that strong as this opponent to come there and help you kick him out. So that's a very long question. Is that the only option available to you? And the answer is no. Let me show you something very interesting. And this option has some hooks. That's why you definitely have to pay attention and watch the video till the end. And the name of this option is, yes, Mr. Rockfield right here. So what exactly are the hooks? Hook number one is you must use exclusively Air Force units. If only one of your slots has a tank or a Navy unit, Mr. Rockfield will not gonna work. The second important hook is you have to bring your march to the highest level possible for your account. That's super important. And what else is also super important, because you cannot literally spam this option, that's why it's an emergency option, is the lower your units will become, the more drastically your damage will drop also. So in other words, that's exactly what is written there. For every level that your units are lower than your enemy's level, the average, the damage is reduced by 50%, and that's a lot. So let's have a look at some battle reports in order to understand this better. And for that, yes, of course, I would like to give a huge shout out to Mr. AMTK, which you guys know it's a very powerful player. And here you see me attack him with my Air Force. I know it's versus his tanks, but that's exactly what you're seeing here. I was not even able to take one of his units down. But of course, probably some of you are curious to see also his stats. Therefore, I'm going to show you a hit in which I'm coming with my tanks, because my tanks are my strongest units. And first of all, look here, I was able to take 7 of his units down with my strongest setup, which I have. So let's have a look at the stats, and we see here level 7, a level 7, and a level 7, just like me. But there is a very, very big difference between me and Mr. AMTK, which are of course the stats. And let's have a look at that for a second. So here are his army stats, which are unbelievable high, not just the army HP or the army attack. You see almost double army damage increase and definitely double army damage decrease. But not just that, let's have a look at his DEF stats, which look even more crazier. So yeah, 87.8% army DEF versus my small 11%, and also DEF of all units 140%. So that's super crazy, and this is exactly what you have to keep in mind. 7 units taken down. Now let's hit him with Mr. Rockfield. And here you go. I was able to take 10 of his units down with this setup. But again, you have to remember the hooks, yeah? Which is use exclusively Air Force units. And of course, the higher their level, the higher the damage. But here we also have to include a huge warning. I strongly do not advise you to use your Valhalla units, but for the sake of showing you the different, I'm definitely going to show you also battle reports in which I'm using the Valhalla units against him, so please pay attention to this detail. I was able to take down 10 of his units with this setup, which is, by the way, we have to have a look. And yeah, you don't see me using gear on Mr. Rockfield, and we also see no perks on him. And let's have a look at the stats difference. Now his army stats you already saw a couple of minutes ago. And let's have a look at my Air Force stats, which are exactly that. Not something super crazy. So using level 101 Air Force exclusively allowed me to take 10 of his units down. But what would have happened if was to use Valhalla units? Now I don't have a full march of Valhalla, but here you see I used all of them. And the result is, yeah, I was able to take 33 of his units down, which is absolutely crazy. So imagine now for a second, 10 players are doing this, and the stats difference is beyond crazy, yet you have a chance to take him out at least one time. Now, what we also have to mention, you have to pay attention, this should be an emergency tool, because every time you do it, your units will demote, and if you keep trying to do this, you're gonna do less and less damage. Let's have a look exactly how this looks like. So you see exactly Mr. Rockfield comes exactly from the beginning, bypassing everything, and you already saw the amount of damage which Rockfield done, reducing the amount of units on all his 9 slots. So anyways, beautiful people, this was the topic of today's episode, which is a very interesting one and is definitely to be considered as an emergency tool, which definitely is far better than waiting for somebody to come in order to help. Presumably you have such a player in which can help you in those crucial moments in a battle. As always, beautiful people, don't forget to support what supports you back, which is, yes, is this channel, is me personally, by answering tons of DMs every single day. So thank you very much for watching, and yeah, don't forget to see me in the next episode. Ciao guys.